Hey everybody, we're back here live on Midas Letter. Today our guest is Carlos Vicens. He is the Chief Financial Officer of Lithium Corp. Lithium has been developing a project in Argentina, and to talk about that, Carlos, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Carlos, let's start with an update. What's been happening in Argentina since we last chatted?
A lot. I think we were here maybe early November, and from there to here, a lot has happened. In late October, we raised $30 million to obviously fund all development of the project going forward. After that, we did a seismic on the property. We were already drilling by the time we came here, but we didn't have any results. We had excellent results in terms of drilling. It continued to demonstrate the grade and the chemistry of the project. However, with the seismic, we found out that the basement of our sediments go down to almost 600 meters. But by that time, we were already drilling, so we had to essentially bring in other drilling company that had the capability of going deeper, which is what we've been doing. And we recently found a deep aquifer at around 500 meters, which is extremely positive, at higher grades and the same chemistry.
Oh, so you've tested it already?
We had some tests, and we have put some press releases out. So that's on the drilling front and the geologic front. Also on the processing side, we've demonstrated that we have been able to concentrate our brine to 3.8%, and that is without any reagents. What does that essentially tells us is that our operating costs in our PA that we had put out back in October could potentially go down significantly, because no reagents means less operating costs. Remember that you want to have them as low as impurities as you can.
Sure.
Grade is always good, but impurities are not a good thing in the brine industry. So apart from that, we've hired our COO. In January, we brought in 4 engineers and PhDs. Now we have a total of almost 12 engineers and PhDs on the technical front. We are by far the most technically savvy lithium developer out there in the market. Right. And socially, we now have tax stability for the next 30 years. Wow. So that was brought forth by the government. So the taxes cannot change for us over the next 30 years. We also have a MOU, which is a memorandum of understanding with the city of Fiambala, to essentially have a location for a processing plant. Wow. So things are moving in all fronts. Sure. On the financial side, on the social aspects, on the geological side, on the processing side, and also on the people front, which is important.
Okay, so how soon is it till you start actually producing commercial quantities of lithium then?
Well, that's going to take a while, and we still need to prove out some of the processing side. We need to work on our feasibility through this year into Q1 of 2019. However, we are building right now a pilot plant that will test that brine that we've concentrated up to 3.8%. Through that pilot plant, we'll be producing obviously bench scale lithium carbonate, and you'll see the specs of that, and we'll understand how we then go from a bench scale processing plant, pilot plant, into a full-blown processing plant. So that will take us at least another couple years. So we, hopefully, will be in production in 2021. But obviously, there's things that we need to work on before that.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so generally, the lithium market, the lithium juniors in particular, have been under price pressure.
They have.
And I'm at a loss to explain that, because there's been no change in the fundamental long-term picture for the demand of lithium. What is causing the weakness in the juniors generally, in your opinion?
Since December, there's been a couple things. One was the announcement from Corfo, which is a government-regulated entity in Chile that gave, not permits, but they gave SQM essentially, how can I say this? They could go ahead to apply for permits for more production in the Salar de Atacama. That was the first kind of news out there. What does that mean? Or what people understood that mean is that, well, there's going to be more supply in the market, hence there could be an oversupply. Then Morgan Stanley, a obviously well-known bank, put out a report saying that even though demand is going to be relatively high in the 600,000 tons per year in 2025, which by the way is at the low end of everybody else's expectation, there's going to be a significant oversupply, because they believe that every single project is going to be in production in in 2 years, which is wrong,
right.
in my own view. Not all projects are going to be producing at full capacity if they're going to be producing. So that's obviously an overstatement to that effect. And they also believe that once that oversupply comes to market, the price is going to crash. But what they don't tend to understand is that when the price crashes, the high-cost producers will also tend to disappear because they can't produce at a loss.
Right.
So that's going to be a problem.
Right.
And in my own view, that's not going to happen. So those two things have led people to be a little bit timid, and the risk-taking is not there. Some of the investors have stayed kind of on the peripheral, trying to see, okay, what's going on. But every single day you see a new OEM or a new battery manufacturer saying, we're increasing our investment, we're growing, we're going to build more cars, we're putting billions and billions of dollars into the market. So something is not communicating correctly here.
Sure, so it's a buying opportunity for investors interested in the space, I would say. I'm not going to make you say that, but so that's great.
Yes.
Okay, Carlos, we're going to leave it there for now. That was a great update. We're really looking forward to your success in the space because I think it's going to drive a lot of other success, and we'll be very happy to talk to you again in another quarter's time and see how you've progressed.
Excellent.
Thanks for coming in.
Appreciate it.